Damn. Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. My name's Anton, bringing you the transfer deadline day. This is just the first video of the day. If you're just waking up in the morning, it's going to be relentless, and we are going to bring it to you. Don't you worry. And I tell you what, it's going to go wild. We're going to travel from here, there, everywhere. We're going to be sending everyone and anyone. Trust me, that is what's going to be happening today. And everyone from the squad is going to leave West Ham. It's absolutely mental and ridiculous, but we'll try our best to look through the rumors, see if there's any form of truth to them, and if there's not any truth to them, will we buff them and just park them, of course. Now, you're just waking up. Let's get started on the first story for you today. I'm laughing because some of them are a little bit mental already. So the first one I want to talk to you about is this one here. I spoke to you about it a little bit yesterday. Maxwell Corney, Southampton, according to Fabrizio Romano, have almost completed a deal to sign Max Corney on loan from West Ham. Now, he did report that they're close to securing the deal for the attacker. Reports came out earlier today that Burnley were also interested in bringing him back to the club. And West Ham, of course, are looking to move players out in order to bring some players in. And Corney, who came into the club from Burnley, only made just 37 appearances in 2 years since he arrived from them. Romano said Southampton are close to agreeing a season-long loan deal for Maxwell Corney, and if he goes ahead and gets a new lease of life, then it would be a very good move for him and for West Ham. Again, freeing up some much-needed funds. And obviously West Ham have opened up negotiations with Southampton. I've mentioned this in yesterday's video after obviously having the Flynn Downs deal going on. So I think this would be a very good move for him. Now listen, Corney still has 3 years left with an option of a fourth on his contract. So if he was to go there and make an impact, it would make sense, and then it would give West Ham an option, you know, whether to bring him back or to release him on a transfer fee. So it's well within his, remit to go and provide a very solid opportunity if and when that officially is announced. Next up, now, there's loads of stories regarding James Ward-Prowse and his future at West Ham, and it looks like it's even more uncertain than ever, but I think this one could really go to the wire. He's going to have some limited playing time at West Ham. We all know that, and lots of Premier League clubs will be interested, and I think they'll be interested knowing the fact that his stats are wonderful stats if you look through his career playing football at the top flight. Now, his decision to maybe look at a move away from West Ham is maybe an interesting one. I think many fans would prefer to have him over Thomas Souček, but he is 29 years old and he wants to be playing football regularly in his peak years. Many clubs have paid a bit of interest and notice on what James Ward-Prowse is capable of doing, Southampton being one of those clubs, but Nottingham Forest have been kind of earmarked to be kept an eye on for potentially bringing James Ward-Prowse to their club. That could provide him with an opportunity, of course, to go and prove his worth, whether that's a loan with an obligation, whether that's just a loan, a straight up loan, or whether or not they may explore a full-time deal to bring him in. Something makes me think that James Ward-Prowse does not necessarily want to leave yet and wants to fight for his position. I'm not so 100% sure if this one does go through. However, an offer of money and maybe a push might just send him over the edge with regards to moving on from West Ham. Let me know your comments in the comments section as well as I move on to the last story, and quite possibly the most interesting one of the three, one that probably we didn't expect, but according to reports, West Ham have entered the race to sign Spurs midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso. Now, I kind of am a bit confused by this. Now, the Copa America winner has been linked with a move away all summer after being informed by Ange Postecoglou that he is not in the plans for this season. One of the clubs that was interested in him was Real Betis. They've been strongly linked to bringing him back to the club in the summer. However, nothing has materialized yet. Aston Villa were even linked to the Argentinian. And apparently, according to reports, Spurs even offered him as part of a player cash deal to sign Jacob Ramsey earlier in the transfer window. And while Villa did turn down the offer they remain interested in the 28-year-old playmaker. Now, according to some reports online, West Ham are showing interest in securing his services, having made an inquiry in the week. However, apparently Real Betis are front runners to sign him. What I don't understand is there's this kind of unofficial agreement between West Ham and Spurs where they just don't do business together. It's simple as that. And Celso is a. Do you know what? I get the playmaker element. I absolutely do. I think there is absolutely a playmaker in there. I always remember games where he played and he was really effective. But he did become a squad player for Spurs. But then maybe again at the end of the day, maybe it's a case of some manager or some head coach putting their hand around him and giving him the boost that he. Listen, there's no beating about the bush when you talk about a player like Celso's skill set. He's a technically gifted midfielder. He's got a great first touch. He plays the game in a composed manner. He's got really good range of passing. He can deliver a very good cross, even though he mainly operates in the central areas. The thing about this one is simply down to the fact that he is a Spurs player. He simply is a Spurs player. And he's not also prolific in front of goal, even though he plays in his positions that he does. In 108 games for Spurs, he scored 10 goals and 8 assists. He's obviously been at Rosario Central, Paris Saint-Germain, Villarreal, and Real Betis, as I have previously mentioned. Last season, whether or not you want to say he struggled for game time, he did play 22 games in total, scoring 2 goals and 2 assists. He was, of course, on loan to Villarreal the season before, playing 22 games, 2 goals and 3 assists in La Liga, and was with them the season before for half the season, 16 games, 1 goal and 1 assists. But prior to that, really struggled to get in and around the Spurs first team and probably was more regular back in 2021 when he played 18 games in the Premier League. Before that, again, 19, 20, 28 games as well. So kind of always struggled to be consistently in that team. However, you can't be a crap player and play for Argentina and win win a whole host of tournaments. Like I said, the Copa America, he's won twice. He's been a French champion twice. He's won the French Cup Winners' Cup twice. He's won the French League Cup twice. The UEFA Champions Winners trophy as well. So the player has got a long history of winning things under his belt, but whether or not I see West Ham pushing forward with this move for Lo Celso, and I'll be honest with you, I don't see this one happening. So leave your comments in and let me know your thoughts. I'll be back. Trust me, we will be back with more content this today because it's going to be relentless and a little bit mental. Take it easy and come on, you irons.